It was good to get back on the practice field yesterday. I thought we had a good practice, good spirited day. Um, Clearly, our team was disappointed by our performance on Saturday, but we're not discouraged. I've seen us improve. I've seen us get better on a consistent basis here during the course of the season. Our players have seen themselves make improvements during the course of the season, but we did not make as much improvement on Saturday as we expected or as we're capable of making. And that's our focus. Our focus is how much better can we get on a Monday practice? How much better can we now get on a Tuesday practice? And so on down the week as we get to game day. A couple guys getting back this week with us. Adam Bice will be back. Zach Kasperick is back. Certainly glad to have those two guys back. Vinny Rizzo, it looks like has incurred a season-ending injury to his wrist, so he'll be out. And Josh Richmond's day-to-day, got a little dinged up on Saturday. We'll get more on him as the week goes. But he could be back, by the time we get to practice here in another day or two. And Will Fleming, who hasn't played in 2 weeks, he's going to be back this week playing, for us also. So a few guys back, a few guys dinged up, no different than any other team in college football this time of the year as we move through. And I'm anxious to get on the field with our guys today and have them continue to improve. I liked our focus yesterday. I liked how we practiced yesterday. And hopefully every day it'll just get a little bit better. With that being said, I'll open up for questions.
So Rizzo, well, did he try to go back in?
He did. He actually put a cast on it at halftime, and he's a tough son of a gun. And he went back in the second half because it was his non-snapping hand, and but he could not do it. So Paul then took over the duties at center.
So what would be the starting offensive line then?
I'll let you know on Saturday.
Oh, okay. So.
Working that out right now.
Oh, okay.
We'll see how some guys progress this week. That's going to be part of it.
How important is this to have those two guys?
It's important. I thought Adam Bice was beginning to play as well or better than anybody in our line when he got hurt. The Eastern Michigan game, when he got injured, he was playing really well. And the center of your defense makes a lot of calls, does a lot of things. So to have him back, if he can play center, which that's what we're trying to figure out this week if he can, that would be really good. If he can't play center, he's got to play another spot, that'd be okay too. Zach Kasperick, one thing with Zach, he's got fresh legs too, and Adam's legs are a little fresher, and those things will help us. But those two guys back, clearly, those are two starters. And that would potentially, really help us, if they can do it, So.
What has been the problem with the offensive line for you?
Well, I think we just, I think we just have had a lot of different groups in there and a lot of different rotations in there throughout the season. And, there's been no consistency or no continuity in that group. And I think that's caught us a few times.
Did Clayton, was he black and blue Sunday?
Well, I will say this. Yeah, he was sore. I think Clayton can help himself some as we look at the film. And there's some ways he's got to help himself, getting rid of the ball, sliding in the pocket. He does not always have to take off and run like he did in that game. And that's got to be an emphasis for him, okay, to have a little bit more disciplined approach to the things we're doing offensively. And this is not anything he has not been told directly by myself or by Coach Pallas. But I do think he's taken some hits, which he has no control of. And he's also got some hits that he maybe has some control of. So we got to get him to handle the ones he can control better, because the other ones are going to occur during the course of a game.
Coach, there's always 4 or 5 plays that determine the upcoming football game. I talked to you about 2 of them after the game, the bad snap there. And it could have been a touchdown drop pass. Is there 2 or 3 other plays that jump out at you after watching the film that really?
Well, the hitch and go, I thought grabbed some momentum for them. Some huge momentum for them. And then the first play of the second half, okay, we had the kickoff return, we got a penalty. We did our rugby punt, and it was not a very good punt, and they scored on the very next play on a busted coverage. So you put those back to back, those chain of events of the bad snap at the end of the half gave them a field goal, and then we gave them the ball back on a short field, and they scored in one play. So now it's 20-3 pretty quickly. That put us really behind the 8 ball. early in the third quarter.
What happened on the bad snap? You said that you
Um,
got to play in late.
Yeah, I'll take the blame for that. I got to play in late, and it was in hurry-up mode, and the center and the quarterback had a miscue on the snap count. So.
Can you pinpoint defensively what was there one particular area that was?
Well, if we could pinpoint that, then we would be able to really, figure that out and have that solved. So, it's not any one position. It is, breakdowns on different plays. Because we had several 3-and-outs in that game too, and we had 3 takeaways.
Right.
All right, and we won the turnover battle 3-1. And so, but there's breakdowns, and when we make an error, unfortunately, right now we don't make a little error, we make a big error. The little errors get hidden, and the big errors are the ones that are getting us right now.
Talk about is Antoine Russell? Is he now?
He's a corner.
He's a corner.
Mhm.
And can you talk about what went into that decision? And how
Well,
the team
just looking
evaluated
at our team during the bye week, I let Joe Patrides play a little offensive tackle. I let Andrew Bohan play a little defensive tackle, just to see where that might take them in their futures here. And then I just looking at our team and looking at some things, knowing we were going to get Marquello back, and said, okay, where do we need some help? Where numbers wise, athletic wise, all that, and it was defensive back. And so we moved him over there during those 3 days of practice, during this kind of week we practiced a few times, and he did a good job, and we decided to keep him there. He had a great attitude about going over there and helping the team, and he played 35 snaps Saturday and had 31 pluses and 4 minuses in our scale. So he's going to stay at DB, and he'll just get better, with more time over there, more looks, and I thought that was the best way to help our football team. And being unselfish, Antoine went over there to do that. It wasn't because he wasn't playing good at receiver. He was doing some good things at receiver. And that's why I didn't tell anybody I was doing that until I talked to Antoine, because I got some dirty looks from our offensive staff and some surprised looks from our defensive staff when I walked in the meeting and said, that's what we're doing.
Wow, like you said, 35 snaps, you just threw him right out there.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to put him over there if he wasn't going to play.
Is there any chance he would play both in the same game? Or?
There would have been a chance if we were in a 2-minute situation and maybe had a ding or something. He stayed up to speed with that part of the offense. And he practiced that part of the offense last Thursday. But that'll be all that he would do. Yeah.
A little bit on Central then.
I was really impressed with them on tape. I was. And they've had 2 very tough 4-quarter games here the last 2 weeks against Ball State and against Eastern Michigan. They jumped on top of Ball State, and we're winning 17-0 and 20-3. Their offensive line is really big. I think their one tackle 6'8", their one tackle 6'7". They got 6'5" guards. Center's a good player. Number 11, Cody Wilson, he's their leading receiver. He is quick as a hiccup. And I think Ratcliffe is playing well right now, and he's a very strong arm, big quarterback. And Paris Cotton he had a long run for a touchdown last week against Michigan State. He's had several. He's done a nice job. The games sometimes run together for me when I'm watching the opponent. Really impressed with them. Obviously, they're leading, I believe, the Mid-American Conference in pass offense, and so they really have a great design there, and they spread you out and challenge you. Defensively, they're playing a few young guys like we are, but they've played well, and they do some solid things on special teams. I'm really impressed with them. They got some good youth on their team. They got a mix of veterans, and it's going to be a game we're going to have to play well. If we don't play better than we did last week, then it won't. It'll be a hard game, very hard game. If we play better than we did last week, then it'll be a 4-quarter game.
You feeling a sense of urgency or immediacy or anything that?
We're just
5
sticking.
games to go.
Yeah, we're sticking with the process. I don't talk to the team in terms of that. I don't think in terms of that. I think in how can we get better today? What do we have to do as a program to get better? And we just kind of work that every day. And college football is the hardest game to win because there's so many interchangeable parts. If you are playing baseball and you have a really good pitcher every fourth day, you got a great chance to win. If you're playing in the NBA and Kobe Bryant's on your team, you got a really good chance to win. Football relies on the guy next to you more than any other sport. And so in the room, we all have to be able to take care of our share of the load on a more consistent basis. And, you know, what was disappointing in the game Saturday was the fact that we had really executed a lot of these things, all of them, well during the course of practice. And then we got in the game and got the exact same look we got in practice and then didn't execute. And that was alarming to me. And that's what we spent some time on yesterday as a team, okay, addressing that. And so we have to continue to practice well, and then we have to bring that to the field on game day. And we had been making steady progress in doing that prior to the Ohio U game. 13-3 at halftime against a team that was kicking our butts 24-0 or whatever it was last year at halftime. We were fighting in that game. And then the train got going, and we couldn't catch up to it.
Jawan, were you trying to get him to run inside more? I mean, he was trying to kind of bounce.
He did bounce some plays that we would want him to keep inside, yes. They were overplaying our outside zone. So you got to hit the inside zone.
A.J. Fox coming on as a kicker
Yeah.
right now. You got to be happy about that.
Really pleased with A.J. 2 field goals Saturday, pretty good distance. Really like him, pleased with him, you know, and looking forward to him getting better. Yeah.
Now, you converted, I think, 2 of your first 3 third downs early in the game. How'd you think that went as the game went along?
Well, as the game went on, statistically we didn't do very well. And
I know you spent a lot of time studying that. You said
Yeah.
in the off week.
well, you know, that was clearly an execution on our part. You know, clearly that was nothing out of the ordinary except us executing at a higher rate.